Weather Center. Here's meteorologist James Gilbert.
You know, it wasn't too bad this morning. Our low temperatures over the last 7 days, well, the last 2, we had numbers in the teens there. And then you even go back all the way to the weekend and earlier than that. When we had those afternoon spikes in temperatures, our mornings were still a bit chilly. 32 we started at. So over the last 7 days, we'll call this mild there. Some might say, no, give me 50s for overnight lows. Yeah, I get it. We'll have to wait a couple more months for that. For now, we are in the mid-30s, steel gray skies, stratus clouds, overcast, a little bit of a breeze, feels like 27 out there. We'll get into the low 40s this afternoon. Could be still an isolated mix shower. A lot of that was focused this morning, but we'll have a decent afternoon. Dropping down to about 30, sunset at 7:22, maybe a little bit of clearing there, but generally a pretty quiet night. And then we've got a front coming in tomorrow, Friday. That boundary is going to work its way overhead, likely middle of the day, and our numbers close. We'll almost get to 50 degrees. Depending on location, you'll be a little bit cooler along Lake Ontario, and then a little bit warmer if you are further south across the Finger Lakes. You got to zoom out quite a bit to find that boundary as low pressure works its way out of Alberta, British Columbia, Saskatchewan, those areas. We can expect that to come in tomorrow. It's moving very quickly, and you'll see it pop up on the future view. Here we are tonight, dropping down into the low 30s, and then there's that rain. Probably just after the morning commute, that boundary will move through. Could be heavy rain, but it's brief, doesn't last long. Cold air lags behind the front, so we don't really feel the chill until late Friday and then going into Saturday here. And Saturday is trending in the wrong direction. I've got a little bit of sun later in the day, but I do expect it to be on the cooler side. We were thinking past couple of days that maybe we might get to 50 on Saturday, and not quite the case, as that light breeze keeps us cloudy for most of the day. Sunday, that's when we've got our next system coming in. That's going to bring us rain, brief warmth before we wrap in some snow behind it. Yes, that's right. Sunday and then into Monday, that storm exits. We get more of a north flow, and that's why I've got a couple of snow showers in there. That'll be the coldest day probably of the next 8 that you see here on this list. But no overnight lows in the teens there. That's good. And then we'll slowly warm up going into the middle of next week.
Oh, well, at least we got that, you know?
At least, yeah. That's all we can hope for. A lot of the country is incredibly warm. You go down, we were showing Arizona earlier this morning, Phoenix, 105, something like that. We are just the total opposite of the colder stretch. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you so much, James. And still ahead, why the cost of mailing a letter